DawnDares2Dream, I like to inspire and motivate adults to dream again. Because as we go through life and take on our different roles and responsibilities, we tend to put our dreams on the back burner. And my goal here at DawnDares2Dream is to help you pick those dreams back up and to pursue them again. Now, I want you to understand, I started DawnDares2Dream because I wanted to relay my message and my heart and my feelings across to whomever would listen. It can be difficult getting your closest family and friends to understand the way that you believe and when you try to express it and share it. So this was like my backdoor way into letting everybody know. Now, I may have lost some viewers as a result of that because they don't agree, and that's fine. I am definitely a proponent of everyone having their own thoughts, their own process, their own mindset that works for them. Your religion works for you, you keep that. No one's telling you to get rid of that. Whatever it is that works for you, continue to use it. I'm just saying that sprinkle some of this other information on it, this personal development information that I'm providing you, and see where your life takes you and how you take off personally. Always remember, we are in control of how we see our environment. I don't care what everyone says it looks like or everyone says it is. We are in control of how we choose to perceive the environment. Hey dreamers, welcome back. And welcome to all the new dreamers who stopped by DawnDares2Dream today to see what we're all about. Well, today we are going to talk a little bit about leadership. If you're a leader, you're always a leader. You know, you can't like pick it up, put it down, pack it away. Once a leader, always a leader. And so today we're going to talk about how people become leaders, some of the issues that we may have with leadership and having that mantle in our lives that we can't seem to get rid of. And I just wanted to explore leadership and how mindset relates to leadership. Because as you know, I am focusing on mindset right now because mindset is everything. I know we hear this all the time, but you're going to see me talk about mindset on my instant inspirations on social media. You're going to hear me talk about mindset in my newsletter, and you're going to hear me talk about my mindset, belief, action YouTube series and workbook, MBA, Mindset, Belief, Action. And in that workbook is where you're going to find some of the tools that I am going to talk about here today when it comes to mindset, when it comes to belief, and when it comes to taking action on our dreams. Because when we are leaders, we're not only just dreaming for ourselves, but we have a vision for the people who are following us. So we're going to dive right into that. Just hold on. The first topic we're going to discuss today is those who are born into leadership. And you may say, born? How are you born into leadership? I personally believe that as individuals, we're born into different families, right? And lots of times when you look at different families, they all have certain talents. And everyone seems to kind of follow along in that path. Now, they don't have to be the exact same talent, but typically, there is some common trait that you can recognize from that group of individuals, those groups of brothers and sisters or cousins, because there is something that the DNA is carrying over, or maybe the spirit is carrying over with each individual attached to that particular family. When we talk about being born into leadership, that's, in my opinion, the most difficult leadership mantle to take. I believe it is because we honestly feel like those are my parents, those are my grandparents. Okay, that's my uncle. Okay, that's my cousin. Yes, I'm in this family, but that doesn't mean that I want to follow in their footsteps. I want to go a different path. But I'm here to let you know, just because you're taking a different path doesn't mean that you can disregard that mantle of leadership that you have, because it may just take on a different face for you. It doesn't have to be exactly how mom and pop did it, or how grandpa did it, or grandma did it, or Aunt Sally did it. It doesn't have to be the same. But leadership isn't something that that you can just get rid of. It's a part of your purpose. Now, the question is, who are you going to be leading? The type of people you're going to be leading, who is going to be attracted to your leadership style or where it is that you're going.
And you don't always have to think of leadership as you're taking a specific group of people to a specific place. You can just be a part of someone's journey at a particular point in time, and you are helping to lead them through that particular space. Leadership takes all kinds of forms. There are leaders in business. So in corporate America, there's a whole leadership structure where, you have your owners, you have your CEOs, you have your vice presidents, you have your stockholders, you have your managers, you have your leads, and you have your regular workers, you have your supervisors. So leadership structures can look different. And at each level of that structure, that leader has a different role and responsibility, even though they're working within the same organization. So when I tell you that you are a part of a leadership lineage and you can't get rid of your mantle, I don't mean that you have to use your leadership skills in the same manner in which your ancestors did. For example, you could have great leadership skills when it comes to bringing people together and accomplishing a project or a goal. You can be really, really good at that, right? So you are leading those people because you are corralling them to focus on one thing that the organization needs to accomplish, and you are making sure that everyone does their individual part. But that's a leader. So don't think of don't put leadership in a box. Just know that when you are born into leadership, you really don't have a choice. Leadership is going to follow you wherever you go. So that could be in the workplace. That could be in a social arena. Say you really love sports and you end up being the coach of we're going to say corporate softball team. You aren't the best player on the team, but you're the best organizer. You're the best communicator. These are all leadership qualities. So leadership is going to come out of you. Whether you want it to or not, or whether you think you're running from it or not, because you cannot run from your purpose. In some cases, leaders are made. You may not come from a long line of leaders in your family, but you have connected yourself with leaders. So you are watching them, you are learning from them. The career path that you've taken, you have mentors who have helped you to help cultivate you into the individual that you are. And so as you grow into a leadership role because you have now picked up all of the different traits from the different mentors that you've had in your life all along the way. And that's created who you are. But it makes you the perfect leader because you were a follower first. Followers make the best leaders. And that's why when you are made into a leader, you have qualities, in my opinion, that leaders who are born into it don't necessarily have, because they didn't have to do a lot of the grunt work. Lots of times when leaders are born, they inherit roles. Even in corporate America, let's be honest, lots of times in companies, people get their friends, their families, their relatives the roles, the jobs. So you know of a company that is hiring for a role and the VPs know each other and they're chit-chatting and he's like, well, I have a person that's a good fit and it's a family member, you know what I mean? And they're giving them a leg up. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but what I am saying is that person didn't necessarily have to pay their dues. They didn't have to just go on interview after interview and get denial after denial, because as we know, the interview process is not simple. There are a lot of denials in it. But when you have the lineage that can help you and promote you through these different levels without having to work too hard for it, there are qualities that you're going to lack unless you take it upon yourself to learn them anyway. Leaders that are made take the experiences that they have had and they apply them to the group of individuals that they're mentoring or that they're leading. And when you're made, you have followed different types of leaders, different types of mentors to get to where you are. And in doing that, you're picking up the different traits that are best out of each individual, and you're combining them into the type of leader that you are, which makes you a really great leader. And then you're sharing those experiences with those who are now willing to follow your leadership. So what type of leader are you? Did you come from leadership lineage? Or were you made a leader? Either way, it's a part of your purpose, and you cannot run from from your purpose in life. Leaders have a huge responsibility. And the reason why you have this huge responsibility is because you are given vision. And in order to be given vision, you have to have the proper mindset. So as a leader, before you became the leader of whatever it is that you are, it could be 5 people. It could be the leader of your household. So it could be your 2 children and your wife, or your 2 children and your husband, right? But it doesn't matter. You are still given a vision on how to move your followers through their journey in life, the part that you are participating in. And it's a great responsibility to be given vision on how to help others to get to where they want to be. But it takes the proper mindset. And this is where we're going to tie in my YouTube series, Mindset, Belief, Action, MBA, with leadership, with this video. Everything starts with a thought. So whether you're a leader by lineage, or you're a leader because you were made a leader because of the experiences that you have gone through in life, right? Either way, it takes the thought of knowing and realizing and accepting that, hey, I'm a leader. I'm going to accept that. But in accepting that mantle of leadership, we have to understand that we have to hold ourselves to a higher standard, to a higher level. Our mindset has to be right. So we have to renew our minds with the information that is going to help us guide our followers along the proper path. In my Mindset, Belief, Action series, in the workbook, and in the video series, there are 5 sections where we talk about different aspects of mindset and how to renew your mind and how to stay focused on the task at hand, and how to motivate yourself to continue on your journey. Because as a leader, not only are you leading people on their journeys, you're also on your own journey, your own personal journey. So who are you following? If you have the proper mindset, you are going to be in sync with the proper individuals, with the proper mentors who are going to help guide you along your journey as you guide your followers. You should be following someone as well. No one person has all the answers. The answers come from the community. So what community are you involved in helping renew your mind? Who that you can speak to as you're going through your different lessons in life, your different lessons of leadership. You need someone to talk to. You need mentors. You need colleagues to lean on, because that is what makes a great leader. For those out there who are still running from their mantle of leadership, I can totally relate. I understand. I have run my entire life. I grew up in church. If you've been following me, you know I talk about the Holiness Pentecostal Apostolic Church that I went to, and I always felt called to leadership. I always felt called to help people. I've always felt called to serve people, because leadership is really service. You're in service to others. And so I've always felt called to do that, but I didn't necessarily want to do it in a formal church setting. I wanted to do it, in my own way. And what I have decided is I started DawnDares2Dream, because this is my way of sharing my thoughts and my beliefs with all who will listen. And I believe for any leader that the people who are supposed to follow you, they will follow you. The people who are supposed to learn from you, they're going to learn from you. And no matter how long you prolong your leadership, eventually you're going to step into that role. And I'm not saying you step in where you like the VP of a company or CEO or director. I mean, you could literally be the leaders of your friends. You're the friend that everyone comes to for advice. You're the friend that everyone knows that you have the good head on your shoulders and that they can come to you, and you're going to give them the pros and cons of whatever situation. You're going to give them that non-biased opinion. That's a leader. Do you understand? So you're serving in that leadership position, whether you believe it or not. So I had to realize for myself that I couldn't run. Everywhere I went, I had people acknowledging me as a leader. Even at work, I'm the lead of the team, but I am not the most technical person or the most qualified individual, in my opinion, on my team. I'm not. I feel like some of those guys know more than I do, but I think that's also another good sign of a good leader. that you know what you don't know, because that's important. And it's important to know who to lean on. And they know what to come to me for. You understand? And I didn't ask to be placed in this leadership position, but that's what my director at the time, now my VP, saw, and that's what he wanted. So that's what he did. And so as our team has grown, I've seen myself grow. Don't be afraid of being a leader because you think that you don't have all the answers. No one has all the answers, but you're chosen to be the leader because you know how to decipher or work your way through whatever issues or situations that evolve to get that positive outcome. Because that's what a good leader does. So you know the individuals that have the talents, and you put them together and you create the best outcome for your followers, for your group, for yourself. Because that's where it is. Leadership is all about mindset and not necessarily your skill set. I hope you've gotten something out of this video today, because I really wanted you to understand whether or not you were inheriting leadership or whether or not you were made a leader. You're still a leader, and you're always going to be a leader, and you really can't run from it, because you may not serve in leadership on a grand scale, but you can still be a leader locally. You can still be a leader with your friends group. You can still be that leader in your family. You understand? Being a leader doesn't mean that you have to lead masses. You may be leading the few, but those few could become the leader of the masses. So your work is vitally important. So don't run from your leadership because you really can't run anyway. Eventually, you're going to wake up and realize, I've been leading all this time and I thought I was avoiding it, because that was my situation for sure. Now, if you have any questions, please drop me a comment down below. Also, there's a share button with an arrow. Share this to your social media platform like Facebook. My face is going to be up here in a circle, so if you have not subscribed to my channel, and I know you better subscribe, but if you have not subscribed, subscribe today. My face is going to be up here in a circle. Click on my face, select the gray bell, select all. That way you'll be subscribed to my channel and you'll be notified to all the new content that I place up here to YouTube. And over here, I'm actually going to put my Instant Inspiration series. I have 2 videos so far that I have there, and in that video series, basically what I'm doing is coming to you in 5 minutes or less and just sharing a moment of inspiration that can help you to kickstart your day. Have a great day, dreamers!